What is up, YouTube? Welcome to PanFro Games. In today's video, we're going to be going over the top 10 worst shiny hunts in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, including the DLC content. And I have shiny hunted every single Pokemon in the game. I've made a guide on how to shiny hunt every single Pokemon in the game. So this is going to be the ultimate definitive list on the worst hunts. And of course, guys, if you like my type of content, enjoy these videos, please leave a like, subscribe if you're new. I really appreciate it. Consider supporting the channel by joining the Pan Fam. Hit that join channel member button below. Coming in at number 10 is Tynamo. Now, Tynamo is an incredibly hard shiny to see. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking when they made the shiny just slightly a different color, not even a bright color that you can see from a distance. So even with the better spots in the Teal Mask DLC to hunt it, it doesn't really matter. You're essentially going in blind with this hunt, and you're just going to be auto battling in an outbreak until you eventually get your shiny. Now, what makes this shiny a little bit different than other hard to see shinies is the fact that there is a 1 in 100 chance that when you evolve Tynamo, you get the 3 family Mousehold, and making it a shiny that is already hard to see, and then that additional hard difficulty chance to get the 1 out of 100 makes it an easy number 10 slot on this list. Number 9 is Tynamo, and this Pokemon is just a bane of my existence because its shiny is terrible, and not only is the shiny bad, and all the locations to hunt it, it is pretty much near impossible to actually tell the difference between the two. So this is going to be a completely blind hunt, which I definitely rank worse than Tynamo. Now, if you do this in the water, there's literally no chance outside of you just getting lucky and knocking out a bunch of Tynamos and just hoping one ends up being a shiny. Now, in the DLC, they did try to add a couple decent areas, but in the Chargestone Cavern, it is still an absolutely terrible hunt to do it, especially near the blue crystals where it spawns. You cannot tell it is shiny. And even in the Teal Mask, there's a really just awful area in the cave system in there that you can barely even do a picnic reset, so you might as well not even count it as an area to hunt it. So good luck on that hunt. Coming in at number 8 is Zarua, the disguise Pokemon. And because it is a disguise Pokemon, outbreaks do not work on Zarua. You're just gonna have to find one randomly in the wild. Now, there are methods to hunt Zarua while it is disguised, and the easiest way to do it is do a dark type sandwich near the normal type city gym during the day, because you do it at nighttime, it is not possible. And if you do it during the daytime and you attack every single isolated Mabosive spawn, then eventually you will find a Zarua. Sometimes you'll get really lucky like I did in my first one, or sometimes you'll get really unlucky in my second one where it took me like 8 sandwiches and my first one took like 2. So this hunt can be very stressful and annoying, especially because you have to deal with the daytime cycle management just to even do this hunt. 7 is Feass, and Feass, 1, can only be gotten in the Teal Mask DLC, and 2, has an incredibly rare outbreak that you'll be resetting for hours on. And not only does it have an incredibly rare outbreak, there are 2 variants of the outbreak, one at the close side of the cave and the second deep side of the cave. And if you get the one in the close side of the cave, you can really not do the hunt there. So even if you get the outbreak, you have a 50-50 chance of it being a good one or a bad one. Now, if you do get the good one, I will say, once you understand the method, which you can follow in my video guide, it is fairly easy to get the shinies, but the point of getting to that is so annoying and difficult. It can be such a waste. And then, of course, you know, how long will your shiny hunt actually take? It's just going to be adding a lot of time and stress to get this purple fish. Next up is number 6, the other Teal Mask fish I hate to hunt. That is White Stripe Basculin. Now, Feass has a rare outbreak. However, White Stripe Basculin's outbreak is in the upper tier of rare outbreaks that I personally haven't even seen myself after resetting for hundreds of hours within this game. I have never seen a White Stripe Basculin outbreak, and it is crazy. Now, even without the outbreak, it is still possible to hunt it. It spawns in 1 pool in the game. It is not an isolated hunt, as there's other water types that spawn within and outside of the pool. So even with a level 3 sandwich, it is still a brutal hunt. And the other thing that makes this hunt difficult is you need a total of 3 for the shiny living dex, because you need a male and female Bite Stripe Basculin to get the different variants of Basculegion, which have different shinies and different stats. So I would highly recommend doing that if you want to get that shiny living dex. And overall, it can be a very brutal and stressful hunt. And good luck if you're still trying to hunt this, because you're gonna need it. Starting our top 5 is Sunkern, and Sunkern is abysmal because, one, this Pokemon for some unknown reason does not have an outbreak in the game whatsoever, and the Sunkerns that spawn in the game are pretty much only in the beginning areas of the game. And of course, they are a mono grass type, meaning there's going to be a bunch of other grass types with them as well. So you have 2 options. You can either hatch these guys in eggs, which I do despise eggs, or you can try to hunt certain guarantee spawn areas for Sunkern, and the one in the video is a single Sunkern spawn that will always spawn in. You just have to knock it out from a distance, run back, have it spawn again, and then knock it out until you eventually get your shiny. It is really, really drooling and abysmal, and I just hate this Pokemon. 4 is egg hatches, and I just mentioned how much I hate egg hatches, and I really do, because there is a total of 10 Pokemon you have to hatch for the shiny living dex, being the Gen 9 starters and Spiritomb. I don't know why they couldn't at least give us a bone with Spiritomb, but egg hatching in general is awful. 1, you need to get yourself a Masuda Ditto, which isn't too difficult, but the annoying thing is it takes 30 minutes for you to do a full batch of eggs. You get about 70 eggs from a batch, and then you got to spend another like about 20 minutes hatching the rest of those eggs, and then, oh, I didn't get my shiny, guess I gotta sit down, make another picnic for another 30 minutes, just mashing A once every minute to get as many eggs as possible. And it's just not fun. There is no actual real gameplay to that. It truly feels like the worst way to spend your day is to hatch 1,000 eggs, and half the time you're just sitting there and mashing A. Coming in at number 3 is Totodile. This is another extremely rare outbreak up there with Hisuian Basculin, and it took me so long to get this Totodile outbreak. It was crazy. I wasn't really expecting to get it either, but once I did get it, I had to focus all my attention on it because I did not want to lose the outbreak by going forward another day. And honestly, this hunt is impossible to do without an outbreak. Going to the areas where Totodile does spawn, there is so many other water types that you're literally going to get like 1 or 2 normally. So you literally need this outbreak or you cannot do this hunt in an effective way, which is why it comes in at number 3. Coming in at number 2 and debatably number 1 is going to be Cyndaquil, because Cyndaquil has the worst spawn in the entire game. So 1, its outbreak is so incredibly rare on the same level as Totodile and Hisuian Basculin, but 2, its spawns are so trash. It only spawns in 1 cave in the entire game. It has 1 spawn point in the cave, and just to get the setup with some crazy science I had to do in my video guide just to get these Cyndaquils popping at a decent rate. And you can do it without an outbreak, but because you're going to be getting about like 1 to like 5 spawns on average, unless you want to wait there for a full like 30 seconds to a minute, and even then you may not get the full amount of spawns because the one Cyndaquil that spawned in didn't decide to move off the one spawn point, so no other Cyndaquils can spawn in. It's just a huge waste of time. My first Cyndaquil took me 4 sandwiches, and then my second and my third Cyndaquil took 4 and then 5 sandwiches. This is an absolutely brutal hunt, and I did lose my mind when I first saw the Cyndaquil outbreak. I literally stopped everything I was doing in my life just to do that outbreak because I've never seen it before, and it truly saved me from how horrible this hunt would be without an outbreak. And coming in at number 1 is gonna be Ditto, because Ditto, 1, you cannot breed for a shiny Ditto. 2, there are no outbreaks for Ditto. 3, it is a disguised Pokemon, and there is no cheap method of actually getting a shiny Ditto like Zarua. There is no isolated spawn you can just target in a group. You're gonna have to pop a normal encounter sandwich next to the auction house town and just hope that you get a shiny disguised Ditto that is either gonna be a Tandem Mouse or a Meowth. And yes, I know you can see if it's a big size Meowth or Tynamo, it would always be a Ditto, but you still don't know if it's going to be a shiny, and there's like no real way of doing this hunt in a good way. It took me 9 sandwiches to get this shiny, and on the way to get that, I even got a shiny Tynamo and like 5 shiny Meowths, and I was just losing my mind doing this Ditto hunt. I'm so glad I got this hunt, and honestly, I'm glad they didn't decide to make other difficult disguise Pokemon or other Pokemon that just don't have outbreaks like Ditto, because if you had more hunts like this, I don't know if I would ever completed my shiny living dex. But there you have it, guys. That is going to be the top 10 worst hunts of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Let me know in the comment section below what you think are the top 10 worst hunts or your least favorite hunt in this game, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out and have a good one.